Welcome, everybody. Sportsbook Review. It's Thursday, April 20th. It's NBA playoff time. This is the odds couple. Pistol Pete is in Harlem, New York, so Brenner's flying solo. But we're talking once again with Al McMordie from BigAl.com. Al, how's everything going on your end, and how you doing in the NBA so far?
Well, we're getting all the losing out of the way early, so things are going really well, I'm off to a rough start in the playoffs, but, I've been doing this 39 years, so I've seen everything. It's not been a good start for me the first week or so, but as I mentioned, I'm going to get the losing out of the way first.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's, that rough spots come, and sometimes it is nice to get them out of the way early because we know what's behind it. I'm batting about 500 in the playoffs. I went 1-1 yesterday, 1-0 on an Instagram pick with the Rockets on the second quarter. But, I don't look backwards, and I'm looking forward to going on a little surge here. Let's get right into it. We got the Cavaliers going to Indiana, 2-0 lead. The line is available at, I believe, -2. What are your thoughts on this, and can the Cavaliers get it done on the road, Al?
Well, we talked about the series, at last week, and I really did like the Cavaliers to win this series. I thought it would go probably 5 games, but I think this is the game for Indiana. Cleveland's coming into this game off 2 very high-scoring wins. They got 109 points in Game 1. They got 117 points in Game 2. But NBA teams off back-to-back wins that scored 117 or more points in their previous game, those teams are 54 and 90 against the spread if their opponents off a loss. I like Indiana here. Indiana's also always been terrific in the playoffs off a playoff defeat, including 32 and 12 against a spread win, an underdog or pick at home. So just an underdog or pick, not necessarily at home. So I do like the Pacers here plus the points.
Okay, here we go. It's a head-to-head, and it's in the NBA playoffs. Pistol Pete would have that look in his eyes right now. Al, I got to go the other way. I think this line is too soft. I think the Cavaliers know the importance, and this is because of the experience. There's not a lot of playoff experience in Indiana besides, in my opinion, Paul George, a few others, but there's no significant players that I think can make a difference. I think they're really missing George Hill. I think that would be a big help against this lineup. Love, Irving, and believe it or not, I really think Kyle Korver's going to light it up tonight. I think they go in and they know the relevance of this game. Chicago could be looking at a damn sweep against Boston, all right, and LeBron has enough experience. He knows, hey, guys, we got to get rid of this team. We know we're going to win this series. Let's dispose of them now. Let's play tonight like it's Game 7. I think they're going to have that mindset because I think it's important to get that first win on the road. So I'm going to be pulling the trigger on the full game -2. Big Al, who is one of my mentors, we're going head-to-head again, and that's just fine. All right, let's get into the second one, Milwaukee versus Toronto, Al. I really like this Milwaukee team. I think that first game win, even though they lost Game 2, gave them confidence, and I think tonight that arena is going to be absolutely rocking. What are your thoughts on that, or are we possibly on the same side in this one?
Yeah, I think we will be on the same side. This series has been very competitive so far. And when you get a competitive series that's tied at 1 game apiece after the first 2 games, Game 3 generally goes to the home team. They're 48 and 33 against a spread, their last 81 in that situation. Even worse for the Raptors. They've had terrible playoff success, going all the way back to 2007. Toronto is a miserable 12 and 30 against a spread, their last and with 2 pushes, their last 44 playoff games. So, you can't trust Toronto really in this situation here on the road in a tough Game 3.
You know what? I couldn't agree more because I think Brogdon, Middleton, and even Matthew Dellavedova at home, his playoff experience is going to really, really feed some energy, along with obviously the Greek Freak who cannot wait for this game to start. I've had really a lot of success the last 3 years fading Toronto on certain spots in the playoffs because this team scares nobody. They're not going anywhere. And this coach, it's finally time for him to go. He should have been years ago. But the bottom line is I'm all over the first quarter, -0.5 point. I got the first half at -1, and I'm taking the full game at -1.5. I think they're going to blow this team out. I think definitely, Al, we're going to be driving that one to the bank. All right, let's get to this other series, Al. Spurs at Memphis. Now, a lot of people get caught up in what's happening with the Spurs, and it's easy to do this time of year. But what we can't forget, all right, and I know that we're looking at some injuries to Tony, God, what the hell is it?
Tony Allen.
Yes,
Tony
exactly. Allen. That guy's a defensive beast. But, all right, 2 times at home this year, Memphis got the best of the Spurs, and they beat them by an average of 11.5 points. I don't know that they can repeat that, but something tells me this game might be closer than people think. I'm off of it myself. It's a 10-foot pole. What are your thoughts on this one, and do you have any picks in this series?
Well, this was a series when we talked about it, last week. I liked 6 of the 8 series, and then the 2 which I would have stayed away from were Boston, Chicago, and Memphis, San Antonio, just because of Memphis's regular season success against San Antonio, and then Chicago's regular season success against Boston. So I really, I would have leaned to the Bulls, and I would have leaned maybe to Memphis, but I didn't like the fact that Memphis had the injury, so we tossed it. But that is a big injury for Memphis. They don't have anyone now that can stay in front of Kawhi Leonard, which is why he's going to the free throw line, as much as he is, 19 of 19 in game number 2. That being said, if there's ever a game Memphis is going to cover the spread in this series, it is tonight. And one of the problems for San Antonio is that teams that get blown out, like Memphis has the past 2 games, teams that lose by back-to-back games of 11 or more points, those teams generally rebound in playoff series to cover the spread in the next game, and that's the situation here. So I'm going to take Memphis based on the fact that they've gotten blown out the past 2 games. I don't necessarily like the matchup. I don't think they have anyone who can stay in front of Kawhi Leonard, but I'll go with the long-term historical trend, and we'll take Memphis to rebound off those 2 blowout losses.
I like it. What are the points that you're getting with that, Al, the best shop line?
Well, 3.5 is the most common number available. It's been bouncing between 3 and 4 depending on your outlet throughout the last couple of days. But 3.5 would be the consensus line.
Yeah, I couldn't refute that at all, and actually I might even lean that way or even place a bet before the game tips off. It is. I think if there's one game they can cover, it's got to be tonight. It's not Game 4, but in their minds it is a Game 4, and it's a must win. I like the breakdown. Al, tell our viewers about BigAl.com. I know you've been doing this for a minute, and what they can find there.
Well, if you go to BigAl.com, you can get not just 1 complimentary selection, you can get 4 complimentary selections every day, nothing to buy. Just get 4 free picks every single day, 2 from myself, 1 from Larry Ness, 1 from Scott Spreitzer. Just go to BigAl.com and click on free picks. And then, of course, we have our best selections for sale as well. In fact, tonight I'm featuring my Eastern Conference NBA total of the month. We have 16 handicappers at the website. There's guys like myself, Larry Ness, Scott Spreitzer, Tom Stryker, Brandon Shively. There's Docs Sports. Lots of great information at the site. Just go to the website and click on picks for sale. Or as I mentioned, you can also click on free picks for the free winners.
That's right. You heard it. All right, Al and I are going head-to-head with the Cavaliers and the Pacers. We're on the same page and jumping in the same car to go cash that ticket with the Milwaukee Bucks. And Al is definitely on top of the underdog tonight at home, taking Memphis, and I couldn't talk him off that ledge. Al, thanks so much. We look forward to doing this with you again next week. Good luck to you. I know you're getting ready to bounce back in NBA.
Thanks. I'll talk to you next week.
Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.